Hey guys, I'm here with another video. Today I'm going to be going over another Vlad mid commentary, post game commentary. I seem to find these post game commentaries a lot easier than when I'm concentrating in game. This time I'm going to be against Heimerdinger in the mid lane. They have a very heavy AP damage composition, with Lysandra, Evelyn, Heimer, and Sona all doing a lot of magic damage. So you'll see me adapt my build to that in a bit. And on our team, we've got a load of random champions. We've got the new support who makes a few good appearances in this game. And what I wanted to make this like a general gameplay video, just as a good game, a good example of strategies that I've been talking about in previous videos. But specifically I wanted to focus this one on how to extend your lead. So some people struggle with first of all with getting a lead, and getting a lead, particularly in lane, has a lot to do with just like micro and to do with how you're trading and also what champion you're playing, and whether you're getting jungle assistance, whether they're getting jungle assistance, whether you're getting support roams, these kind of things that can affect your laning. But a lot of people, even if they do get a lead from their jungle coming to gank, don't understand fully how to use that lead and push it as far as you can. That you're gonna win games, you're gonna win a lot more games if you have a lead and you understand how to fully push your champion to the limit and gain as many advantages as you can with your lead, and then spread your lead to the rest of your team as well. So that's what we're going to be applying today. First of all, however, we need to get that lead. Now this particular matchup between Vlad and Heimer is a little bit annoying for Vlad. I think this Heimerdinger was not a very good play. You see, he just took a Q and then an empowered Q, and he's half HP because of that. And also I healed a lot from it, so I'm at full. I'm fine. Ideally, he really shouldn't be taking those empowered Qs, especially. Mostly Heimer just wants to push the wave with his turrets and pretty much just shove out and look to place some good vision around mid. And by keeping me at my turretal game, he prevents me from getting good roams off and impacting the map as much. But I don't think that the Heimer played this that well. For example, letting me get that Q there. I'm okay taking a little bit of turret damage from Heimer's turrets. They don't do that much damage to me yet, and especially you'll see with the build that he goes, he doesn't end up going for a big damage build, and that really allows me to abuse him a lot harder. But we'll get into that when we get to that. So at the minute, yeah, the lane's kind of going as expected. Heimer will push you in with his turrets doing consistent damage to the wave. But a poor CSing right there. You see, I missed like 3 CS that I could have got, and I was a little bit annoyed about that. But my CS picks up after this. CSing or last dissing, sorry, I should call it, is a very important part of the game. And if you, it's important not to tilt from a few bad CS, but it is important because obviously the amount of gold that you have directly correlates to the amount of items that you have and how strong you are. So if you struggle with last hitting with particular champions, if you're picking up a new champion, you can just go into the practice mode and practice that against the AI. First of all, I'd recommend practicing it when there's no lane counterpart and you've just got your abilities and your basic attack, and you'll understand sort of the speed of your basic attack and what abilities you can use to farm the wave and which ones you kind of need to save for any champions. Well, you'll probably learn that more though when you get into the second stage of playing against like an AI and just practicing last hitting for the first 10 minutes of the game against the AI. Now, if the AI is on intermediate, it will challenge you a little bit for some CS, so you get an idea of what abilities you want to save and which ones you are okay using on the wave. For example, with Vlad, sometimes you'll see me Q the wave, and sometimes you'll see me right there save my Q and walk up to the Heimer and because that was my empowered Q. So it heals me for more and does more damage to him. So I wanted to save that one for him, which he wrongfully stepped up to me for. He didn't back off correctly, and I managed to get some healing down. And then after that, obviously, you can just, after practicing those, you can go into normal matches and practice against real players, and particularly with, I think Vlad is probably one of the easier ones to think about CSing with, because you can use his Q to CS, and sometimes it is right to do so just to get some health regen and to get you close to your empowered Q, and then you can step up to them. You see how every single time my empowered Q is up, I'm walking forward looking to trade with him. Now I do notice that because we've been in the laning stage for about 5 minutes, Heimer is completely out of mana. Now he just used his E on the wave, and so I know that he wants to base right now because he's got no mana and it's really bad for him to stay. So he decides to take a greedy base right here, and I walk all the way through this entire wave of his turrets just to stop him basing, because I know that if I can stop him basing and keep him in this lane, then it's going to be really good for me, because he's not going to be able to do anything. Right there is a classic Vlad all-in. I understood my damage threshold very well. We'll actually go for a replay of that, because that happened very, very quickly. I'll slow this down actually. Oh, this is me initially stopping his base, and then I see right here my empowered Q is coming. You see this bottom bar that Vlad has. When it turns yellow, it shows that his empowered Q is coming up. So I see he has no mana, or mana for like one spell, so he can't really fight back. But less than not being able to fight back, he's half HP. He's at only about 400 HP, and I've got my empowered Q coming up. I can cast my E. And as well as that, I brought Ignite as well, and Ignite is what really bags me at this kill. Without it, I wouldn't have had enough damage because the Heimer decided to take Barrier. So, going slow motion, I see my empowered Q coming up. I charge my E, then flash, release my E, Q him, and then ignite him and auto him once. The auto is very important because the auto procs my electrocute and does more damage. He barriers, which absorbs 200 damage, but the ignite kills him anyway. So that was a nice little play from me, and managed to spag myself a free kill there. And this allows me to just simply push out the mid wave and then get a really good base. And I managed to, I think I based with 1,800 gold, which is a really big early base. You'll notice here, ideally I'd like to push this all the way into the turret. I managed to deny 1 minion to the turret, but I don't manage to get any more than that. I just decided to base right here. He could freeze it, but I don't think he will because he's Heimerdinger, and he kind of just automatically pushes as a result of being Heimerdinger and having these turrets just fire away. So unless he tried really hard to not use any of his abilities, I knew he wasn't going to freeze, because Heimer just constantly pushes, kind of brain dead really. So I just decided to leave it where it is, because if I tried to push another wave, then he would have come back and I would have not been able to get my base off properly before the wave crashed back into tower. But I come back at a good time. I've got a revolver and a kindle gem. With the in patch, this is a patch 8.11 game, so the Shirelias has been nerfed a little bit. I'm still testing it out, seeing whether I want to build it or not. It is a really good item on Vlad, but this game I decided to go for Proto Belt, and didn't build the Shirelias at all. I've been testing whether to buy Proto Belt first, whether to buy Shirelias first, whether to buy them both, or just one of them and then move on with your regular build. In this game I didn't bother building Shirelias at all. But in games where you struggle to sort of get onto your targets, like someone who's very far back, like you're trying to kill Caitlyn or Xerath or another like Ziggs or something, and you're struggling to have the move speed to get onto them, I think Shirelias would be really good. So anyway, this lane continues. While I still have a lead from that first kill, I have an item advantage. I don't have great kill pressure yet until I get him a bit lower. And I'm kind of not waiting for him to use all of his mana, but the longer that this goes on, the better it is for me. Because I am Vlad, I have sustain, and he has to use mana in order to push the wave and harass me. So we continue laning, and I can see that his mana is getting low again. And I've managed to heal back up with my Qs and dodging a few of his abilities. We do see there's some fighting going on over here. I haven't really looked to roam at all so far. My team seems to be doing pretty well on their own, especially my bot lane, which is doing really well. It's got a lot of pressure, but they don't have the bottom turret yet. So ideally I'd like to go and influence that in the future. If I can get my bot far enough ahead that they get the turret, then they'll be able to snowball the game. So you see here, there was an all-in between me and the Heimer. He barely lives, and then the Evelyn comes, I barely live. I managed to get Wukong to come along and clean up the rest. So we'll do a replay of that because I was talking during some of the start sections of it. So we are. This is the pre-all-in talk, the preamble before the main event. I really should be thinking about where Evelyn is right now. I must admit that I wasn't really thinking about it too much. I did think that because they were invading on top side, the Evelyn would be coming up to here, but she actually just decided to come straight to me. Me and Heimer both have all of our regular abilities up. Heimer has both of his sums still up, and both of my sums are down. So potentially I should be playing a little bit more safer than this. But anyway, I decided to go for the all-in as a result of it being on my empowered Q. So I get an empowered Q on him. He misses his E stun, and I charge E and ult. I possibly could have ulted or not ulted there because ideally you want to save your ult for when you've got follow-up damage along with it. In this case it turned out okay because I turned out to need exactly that much health. But yeah, so the Evelyn comes along, tries to assassinate me. She just barely doesn't do enough damage. And then the Wukong flashes on the no mana Heimer for the double kill. And also Heimer flashed and used both of his sums there. So I know that. I know that's really good for me. I again push out the wave and base because I'm fairly low. Now that I've got 2 kills, now I know that I can really start to put pressure on this Heimerdinger. I see that he's built first item Banner of Command. You remember I said earlier about him not building too much damage. Well, I think that to be honest, it's really annoying, but I don't think it's the best build. I think this is kind of a bit of a troll build. Basic Banner of Command is really strong right now. It got buffed and then hotfixed, but it's still strong, especially on champions that don't really require a lot of offensive stats. Some support, some top laners are building it. Like Singed is a really big abuser of it at the minute, and it's really hard to deal with if they've got multiple of them on the map. It does guarantee you temporary lane pressure, as you can see, because it has like a 70% damage reduction on all of your damage. So I'm just here trying to slowly clear out the banner minion. It's very interactive, but I eventually do. And now I decided to go for Sork shoes and a control ward. I actually kind of disagree with my buy slightly. I think it's okay if know that I'm going to snowball, but I don't necessarily know that I'm going to snowball. I think the Merc Treads are really good here because they've got 4 AP, they've got a lot of CC, a lot of a lot of CC actually. They've got Lissandra Root, Lissandra Ult, Evelyn Charm, Heimer Stun, Ash Arrow stun, and Sonar R stun. So a lot of CC. So I actually think I should have gone Mercs right here. I was kind of autopiloting, just going straight for damage, especially when ahead, which is a good thing. But I think that Mercs would have been better this game. So the lane continues. Evelyn ganks the bot lane and manages to turn the tide on that, so the bot lane gets a couple of kills. And there's also an Infernal Drake up, which is problematic for us. So I've just seen the Evelyn kill our bot lane, and then they've all gone missing. I think there was a ward. Yeah, there's a ward here. So I do see them all on the dragon, which is why I feel confident enough to step up to the turret here and take an all-in, which the Heimet does not quite expect. Here I get a little bit sad that my Q did not kill, and also I get blocked on this stupid minion, so therefore I take another tower shot, and it's a 1-for-1 trade, which is not the best, not the worst. I knew that I needed to do that before they finished the dragon, or when they finished the dragon, so that it wasn't a 1v3 basically. Whether I should have done that or not, it's debatable. It's possibly considered a mistake, especially because I used my flash for it, but whatever. So I just decided to finish off my Proto Belt by an Amp Tome. I agree with finishing off Proto Belt. I think it adds a nice chunk of burst damage in there as well. However, I disagree with the Amp Tome. I think that given their team comp, and you'll see me do it shortly, I think I should have just bought a Null Magic Mantle for some MR, because it's so cost efficient against this team comp. So the Pike comes along, he stuns him, we drop all of our damage. Yeah, we drop all of our damage, kill the Heimer. The Pike decides to go for the big play and ults into the turret and kills himself. But there you go. So we got a nice kill on the Heimer. Heimer's really far behind, and I see. I'll have a look at the mid turret, and because the Heimer's been pushing, my mid turret's lower than his. Like mine hasn't taken a lot of damage, but I do see that the bot lane is pushed up. Now, if I was the enemy team, alarm bell should be ringing. Lucian and Vlad were mid. They've now disappeared from vision, and they're not pushed up to the turret, so they could be here or on the way down to bot lane. But they do not respect us. They don't even think about us at all. And on the way down, I ask, what are the sums? And they tell me that Ashe has got no flash, so I target her. And in this subsequent all-in, the Lucian unfortunately dies because he gets a bit too overzealous. He should have let me get Sonar stunned before he went in. And then the Evelyn tries to go in on me, and that was a mistake. She doesn't not nearly do enough damage. She doesn't realise that I haven't used my pool, or maybe she just doesn't understand what Vlad does. But yeah, I can delay her charm for quite a while and do most of her HP. I throw down a ping to help out with mid lane, and Wukong does more than just take the wave. He actually just solo kills the Heimerdinger, and that's because he does not have any damage. If he had damage there, he might have killed him, but he decided to build first item Baron Command. So knowing that getting the bot tower is really important for my bot lane to snowball, I decided to get the bot tower. I'm actually during when these two came back, I was actually typing. I have pull up, so I could have pulled the Ash Arrow, but I wasn't quite ready. Now I stopped typing. The Pike pulls her in, and she gets one shot. And I get a little bit sad here because I couldn't quite get the auto off to kill the Sonar. But still really good. Nice look from the Pike. I'm glad that he was aware enough to come back. Their bot lane is so far behind right now, and because I'm the champion that I am, because I'm Vlad, they cannot contest me whatsoever. Alright, so I take another base. I just buy an timer Anomicon. I was considering like buying the flat pen Oblivion Orb and like a Spectre's Cowl or something, but I just decided to finish off the Morellos and buy a non-magic mantle. I am going to build this non-magic mantle into Spirit Visage because it's really good in this game. MR is really valuable, and Spirit Visage is just a really nice item to build on Vlad. Some Vlad mains like to call Spirit Visage a bitch item, and I'm not quite in that boat. I think it's a very efficient item on Vlad, but it's situational, like in this circumstance where they've got a lot of MR, and the Heimer does not respect my damage at all, not realising that I can dive him so easily. He thinks because the E's there he's going to be safe. He's not safe. They all die. Unfortunately, our Lucian dies because the Evelyn assassinates him, but that's okay. The Pike pulls a Sona in, so she dies as well. And my focus here is just on getting the mid tower. I can kill literally everyone on their team, so I can just brute force down mid and get the turret. It's really important when you're snowballing a lead like this to make sure you get all of the outer turrets methodically, and then the tier 2s and stuff like that, in order to, because they give you global gold, and also they give you local gold as well, so it's like free gold that's just available on the map for you to extend your gold lead even further. Like you can see we're 17 minutes into the game and there's already a 10k gold lead for us. So that's really important. Now I know that this has vision right here. If the Mundo, I just came over here because this was the only lane that I hadn't really started to snowball yet. So I wanted to see if there was anything that we could do with a all-in, like a dive or something. But the Mundo looked like he didn't really want to go for it, and he wasn't pushing the wave, so I would have had to walk through tower. I didn't have ult, so I didn't feel like it. Decided to go for that another time, so I just take another base. I get a Spectre's Cowl and a Kindle Gem in order to build in Spirit Visage, and then I decided to go bot because I just feel like killing the Ashe again. No one wanted to go bot by the looks of it. My bot lane is mid, so there's going to be a wave to catch, and the Ashe 100% cannot lane against me. Even if it's a 2v1, they cannot lane against me. Even if it's a 3v1, they probably can't lane against me. And I know that, so I'm just trying to draw pressure bottom, and if they don't answer me, then I'm just going to push the wave all the way into the tier 2. Yeah, you see all of their warning pings on me. So ideally here, I'd like my team to not really be fighting much on the top side of the map, because they can just fight around me, and they win any fight with me or the Wukong in. They won a lot of the fights with these two in as well. But everyone on the team is pretty strong. But literally any fight that I have, it's gonna be a 1-1. So I see the Heimer, I try and go for an all-in, but he gets a good disengage stun on me, and that kind of fumbles my engage. So the Ashe tries to arrow me, and I just pull it. So I know that I've got 2 here, 2 in lane, and I'm thinking about the Heimer. I haven't seen him on my ward, so I don't know if he's like around here somewhere. So I don't want to go too aggressive, and I also just use my pull. So I don't go aggressive until I have my pull back. It's a good disengage ult from the Sona. I actually should have pulled that. I wasn't fast enough on that one. But I do manage to do a big chunk to both of the bot lane. It's not worth it to use my flash like that. It was just good play from the Sona. I was kind of calling out the Sona's bluff on on not using her ult immediately, but she did. So I should have used mine. Then the Ashe tries to step back up to me with the Eve coming. She doesn't realise how big I am. So I just kill the Sona and the Eve anyway. Like I said, they probably can't even 1v3 me, and then the Pike goes in for a dash to kill Ashe. Oh, that rhymed. And then I go out and help him fend off the Heimer. So we basically just 2v forward right there, and that's just because I'm so strong. So you see how I've used my advantage in mid to get the bot tower, then to get the mid tower. I didn't really help top a lot. I kind of just left them to their own devices, but given that it's a Mundo, I think that if they're just farming against each other, then Mundo is just going to massively outscale. Right here, I'm very sad right here. This is why I should have Mercs, by the way. The Heimer lived on 1 HP with Hourglass, and the Lysandra came down to ult me. But if I had Mercs there, then I wouldn't have died. Also, if I'd pulled the Ash Arrow, which actually no, I think I used my pull to get in there. I possibly shouldn't have used my pull preemptively. I maybe should have waited. But so that's the second mistake of the game, my second death. That was kind of bad. And then fast forwarding to when I return, my team doesn't. Oh yeah, there's this random fight around the blue buff that gets the Wukong really low, and there's a big chase thing, etc. etc. The Pike then tries to go in and gets himself killed. So then the blue team thinks, oh my god, we've killed someone, we can do Baron. They can't. They shouldn't be able to. I actually went bot right here because I was sure they wouldn't do Baron. They wouldn't be stupid enough to do Baron, but they were. So I pushed bot wave a little bit, and I decided to walk mid. My team managed to stop the Baron on their own. Like I said, the enemy team really can't do Baron even if Pike is dead. Yeah. So my team pick up a few kills, I cut them off right here, and that's easy pickings for, yeah, basically an ace. So me and Lucian follow that up by getting this tower, and then we kind of look to grief and get the inhib one, because while they're dead, they're respawning soon. This is a play that is only really possible because I am so far ahead fighting past the turret against their whole team. But I think you should just watch for yourself, and I don't really need to commentate over this bit. This is just from being ridiculously far ahead. So I get a quadra kill, which is really nice. Right here, I don't want to walk through the tower and dive the tower, so I just wait for my pull to be back up so that I can pull the tower aggro and get out. Unfortunate that I couldn't get the penta, but he was killed by someone else. So I base. Oh yeah, and I finished my Spirit Visage. I didn't quite. I was like 50 gold off of my item, so I pushed one more wave, and then I base, and I'm pretty sure I just pick up the rest of a death cap from this Needless Siraj Rod. Now I'm like huge, and so is the Wukong as well with the Trinity Force Dust Blade. I bet his auto does like half of someone's HP. So there's an Infernal Drake spawning in a minute. I decide to go bot lane to push this out. My team gets a random pick in the jungle. They don't seem. You see, this is the thing with like low elo or whatever teams, is they don't realize when waves need to be pushed. So I knew that I needed to go and push it myself, because if I didn't, then well, then there would have been a big delay and we wouldn't have been able to get the turret so quickly. So I decided to go really aggro on the Lysandra. I know that they can't kill me now because I have Spirit Visage. So I was completely okay just eating the Lysandra ult up in turret range and everything. I get Heimer to 1 HP. Don't manage to kill him unfortunately, but I just regen back up from my Qs. And because I heal so much because of Spirit Visage. And at the moment I'm just waiting for my empowered Q, then I flash in on the Ash and one shot there. And I also manage to get a kill on the Lysandra on the way out as well. and because I'm so strong, I can just kind of sit in the base. The Heimer has some MR, so he doesn't get one shot by me, but that's fine. So we get the bottom inhib. Honestly, I'm just having fun with them at this point. And my team just chases down the Evelyn. But nothing major more comes of this. It's just a bit more kind of threatening at each other. I don't have my ult up or my flash, so I don't really want to fight them 1v5 yet. I could, but in the right circumstances, like the quadra kill. Like, it has to be the right circumstances, and I can't get CC'd much, otherwise I'm dead. So we eventually, I'm pretty sure, just decides to go and do Baron, which is something we should have done a while ago. Considering how far ahead we are, it's really easy Baron take. And then we go, I push the bot wave while they finish off Baron. And then we push for this bot tower. I threaten them off the tower. They decide to Ashe arrow me, but they really cannot step up to me. The Ashe flashes away with my Hemo still on her and dies. And then we push for the bottom inhib. This is like an end game push right here. Obviously the Evelyn goes in to assassinate the Lucian. Whether that's a good choice or not, I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that kill on the Sona. We'll go back and have a replay of that one. So we just walk straight past the top inhib and go for the base. I proto bolt Q and kill the Sona. The Lysandra ults herself under the tower and flashes out. And this is the signal of GG. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something about how to properly snowball your leads, playing aggressively. Obviously this is a really good game to play Vlad with, and you can play very aggressively with Vlad and do a lot of one-shotting, but this applies to other assassins or burst mages as well. So thanks for watching, and there will be more videos to come.